What's up, guys? What's happening, Martin? Welcome back to Fantasy Subbuteo show. Myself, Watsy, my good friend there, Martin Bradley. How are you, mate?
Living the dream.
What's the poison tonight?
It's a simple Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yes.
Spanish.
Lidl special?
Oh, no. That's straight from Chill off licenses. All our off licenses are available.
I wouldn't go anywhere but Lidl nowadays. Unless it was in a desperate hurry to go somewhere.
I didn't buy it.
Gift, was it?
No, Katrina bought it.
Ooh, plenty of money here. I want to start this week, first of all, by saying deepest condolences to our good friend Simon Stewart, whose partner Natasha has lost her father this week. So just let you know we're all thinking about you and hope you're all back on your feet soon. Sorry for the loss, everybody. Martin, we had a great show last week. We were gazumped. We thought we were getting Jeremy on his own, and we got Scott. Some crack, wasn't it?
Aye, like Paddy fucking Scott.
I was watching back and when I was doing the show, making the show last week, and I tell you what, it was actually quite funny. Some of the one-liners I missed because when you're on the other end and you don't hear conversations, there's a couple of cracking one-liners there, so it was quite funny.
The boys was good crack.
They were a good comedy duo. And then there was another. Again, ended up in the rabbit hole down their Outer Banks Facebook page. Great Facebook page as well. If you go on it, give it a wee follow. That was all for last week. So, anything about you? Anything happening to you this week? Are you going anywhere this week?
No.
You're not going nowhere this week? You're not jetting off on Friday or anything, no?
Oh, next week.
Is that next week?
I need to be next week. What's it? It's next week.
It is. I'm a week early.
You're a week early. You're living in the future.
Well, by the time this comes out, it'll be next week. See?
This should be out Friday. Will be next week. But you said this week. Anyway, next week. Wobbly Hobby League. Wobbly League.
You've got a team anyway going. That's what's most important.
That's right.
Up there in Division 1.
Up there, very massive. Apparently moved up to Division 1. See how that turns out. Not a bad squad, to be fair. Well, Jason, with Gareth, Ashing, and myself.
That's a good team. I mean, I don't know.
Good. Jason's all right.
Gareth's top notch. Gareth's top notch.
Yeah.
Jason will beat any of them English guys. He always gets good results against the English boys.
He does.
And the Scots, obviously, as well. You'll get a good result somewhere along the way. You can dig in.
I don't travel well.
Oisin's our man on the front lane, trying to get draws.
Oisin needs to hold the line.
How tight.
Straight.
He's good with the keeper, remember?
We're non-stop in here in the shed all next week. Training zone.
We had a training the other day. Me and you. It was quite disastrous, I have to say. I'm sure people seen it on the Facebook channel.
I thought it was good.
It was good for you. Winning 4 and 5 out of 10.
I was quite hot.
Tell you one man who is hot.
Go for it. Tell me.
Mr. Barry Sez. Check him out.
Hey folks, just wanted to cover something off from last week. I think there was maybe a bit of confusion, but I think it was probably caused by me and my sort of terminology between attacker and defender and so on. So in this situation, attacker, defender, this attacker hits the ball against the goalkeeper, and the question was, obviously with the change of possession, this attacker becomes the defender, and this defender becomes the attacker because there's been a change of possession, so this is now his possession. So this defender, it's because the ball hit the goalkeeper, is he allowed a block? And yes, he is allowed a block, but the new attacker, this guy, doesn't need to wait. The only situation where he would need to wait is if the ball stops and there's a man on the ground or a man's went off the pitch and the referee, or if you don't have a referee, you need to stop play and lift the guy up, or bring a guy onto the middle of the pitch. If he's came off the pitch, then the new attacker needs to wait for the defender to have a block. That is if the ball is stopped. I think there's a couple of situations, and some people have told me about this, where the goalkeeper makes a save. Obviously, this is man's in the 6-yard box, but makes a save and the ball goes all the way up, and then someone shoots on the move and then flicks it in. That's allowed. There's no issues with that. Even if the man's fallen over, even if the man's fallen over in that situation, because the ball's moving, the play is only stopped once the ball's stopped, to fix these guys. So you can play, in theory, you can play on and keep hitting it with a moving ball and stuff like that until the ball stops. You don't need to stop play and wait for that block if the ball keeps on moving. So hopefully that clarifies things. So attacker, defender, change of possession. When it hits the goalie, he becomes a defender and he's allowed to block. So it's fairly simple, and the attacker doesn't need to wait. Okay, all right, cheers, folks. Bye.
Yes, sir. Martin O'Bradley, we are going to, with the MySpace, we have been around the planet. We've been around the world, nearly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we started in England, then we went to Tralee, I think we went back to England, went to America, we went to Letterkenny, Creeslough. And then last week we went to North Carolina.
Yeah.
This week we're going all the way down under.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to Australia. So here is this week's MySpace with Adrian Elmore. Check it out.
Come on over the market.
Hi everyone, this is Adrian from Western Sydney Subbuteo, and we're just outside the Western Sydney Subbuteo clubhouse, so I thought we'd got some league games going on today. I thought I'd take you in and show you our space. So follow me. So here we go. Got Imogen and Ben here.
Oh, yes.
Tim and Ray. We're about halfway through our league for the spring, so things are getting pretty exciting. Here's David and Josh. Josh is in the middle of his HSC exams at the moment, taking the afternoon off so he can play Subbuteo. Vince,
Yours.
Frank, got a full house tonight, this afternoon. We've got our poster wall with a bunch of old tournament posters from the last decade or so. Australian Subbuteo. Our old club banner when we used to be called Subbuteo Parramatta. And our Australian jerseys with some lots of everyone's signature on it. Yeah, so this is our space.
Yep.
Oh, what a save. Thanks for joining us.
Adrian, thank you very much. Beautiful clubhouse, and we have a few backed up now, waiting to go for the old MySpace. It's really taken off.
You haven't asked me to do a MySpace.
That's when we're desperate.
Fair enough.
That's when all the ones we have run out, and then we have to start doing our own. You and me and Oshin.
Oshin's got quite the space when he sets it up.
Have to get him on some week. Maybe it'll be his return. Maybe he could present. Maybe he could present MySpace. You know, like through the keyhole.
I think he's fallen out with us.
I know.
Probably you fell out with you.
Because he owned.
I'm collateral damage. You weren't fucking long replacing him. I'll tell you that much. Just like he that lined up in the bag.
Hey, he dropped the bombshell. Don't want to do it no more. See you later. Thanks.
Busy man.
I know.
Busy man.
Right. I've actually been dreading this part all week. Let's go and see what's happening in fantasy football. I have not been looking forward to this all week, so I'm going to get it out of the way nice and early, okay?
I haven't, right? All right.
I'm going to start at the bottom.
Yeah.
Robert Ramsey, your bottom. Adam Douglas, your second bottom. Chris Morris, your third from bottom. Davis A. Hunter, your fourth from bottom.
Jesus, Dave.
Dave, I don't know what's happening, Dave.
He's a semi-professional soccer player.
Speaking of our Australians, Kev Holliday jumped up to 55. Barry Spence has dropped down to 54th. Daniel Lilly, 53rd.
Yeah.
Lawrence Watson has dropped to 52nd place. Elliot Jude Bellefontaine, he has jumped up to... No, he's actually dropped to 51st.
Well, that holds water with my theory. Elliot and his brand new squad of soldiers went out and come second in the Europa League. And what happens as soon as they fucking hit the highlights there? Shit the bed in the fantasy football.
Well, Martin O'Bradley, 49th place. There's 2 points between us. I took an 8-point hit. I took an 8-point hit to bring different players into my team. So I've my own fault for doing it. I should have been aheady.
That sounds like making excuses for himself.
Let's see who else is up there. Jez Ames is up to the 47th. Big G up to 45th. Barry Core, Dire Straits. He isn't Dire Straits. He hasn't moved from 43rd. John Moore is up to 39th. Dynamo de Volk. Remember him? John Henson.
Wet John. Where's he? He's not languishing down in the 30s.
38th. Nearly in the 40s. And that's him moving up.
John.
Alexander Ashcroft has moved to 36th. Let's see who's moving.
Alexander Ashcroft.
Keane Hogan is up to 32nd. Brent Ashley up to 31st. These boys used to rule. The roost.
See.
Natalie McCulloch was always up there. She's up to 28th. Dave Elton jumps up to 24th.
Oh, well done, Dave.
Damon Bodley is up to 20th. Finley Skidder up to 19th. Jeremy Gronian last week.
No.
Jeremy has jumped up to 17th. Him and his Everton mates. Well done, Jeremy. Our Simon, much love to Simon. Thinking about you, buddy. You're up to 16th place in the old fantasy.
Fantastic.
Brian H is up to 15th. Dave Marylees Kelly, 14th. Martin Hodds, 12th. Right. We're up to 8th place. Mark Cotteridge, you're 8th place. Stephen Gorman, 7th place. 5th, Chris McManus. 4th, Mark Weaver. 3rd, Frank the Tank Colley's coming fucking right back on him.
Fucking Frankie will take no shit.
Come on, Frankie. Frankie is 667 points. He is roughly about 40 odd points behind the leader. 46 points, I think, behind the leader. 48, sorry. Gage Badger is in second. And Thomas Regan, who won the SA Bases pitch for the most points last month, is still in first. Well done, Thomas Regan. You want to see who's leading?
I'm quite the football pundit, I think, now when I look at them scores. And I'm coming up there. Wonder who did me good. I'm going to look.
Oh, hold on. Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
Do you know I'm doing something here?
Apologies.
Leading the highest points of November is Frankie Connolly. Gary Downs is second, and Jess Ames is in third. But the only problem is with this, we don't have a prize. So if anyone wants to donate a prize, no.
No. Proper prize.
For them pajamas, them sexy pajamas. What is this?
What is this, indeed? This is a proper prize. There's not many of these rocking about. And if this is now me sponsoring this month's prize.
Oh, you're well kind. You're going to sponsor it with an old something someone sent you.
Oh, no. This, ladies and gentlemen, is an original signed sleeve from the original release of the Undertones Teenage Kicks record.
What? No, that's not the prize.
There were 15 punk rockers sitting in Good Vibrations record store with a horde of these, folding them up around the singles they send out back in the day.
Bradley.
You would see it would be folded thus. The record, if you watch, there's a film, Good Vibrations, about. Now, so it would be folded round, so the front label of the LP, the single, would be like that. What about that for a prize? You don't want that? You don't want that as a prize?
That's coming to my house. No, that's not a prize.
This has also been signed not only by the Undertones, but Terry Hooley of Good Vibrations Records.
Is it only an out print?
Without him.
Is it only an out print or is it an original?
No, it's not only an old print. It's a print, but it's not only an old print. Not many of them made.
Okay. Well, think about it.
No, stick it up your arse. We're not getting it for a prize anymore. That's a good prize.
I'm taking it to my house. Happy days. Right.
Hold on. I only got 35 points this week. Although the average was 32, so I'm above average.
All the big hitters done shit.
You man, fucking Haaland only got 2 points. All these fucking, here's my bench. Have a wee exclamation mark beside them and a purple triangle.
It's terrible team. Salah never performed. Haaland never performed. Watkins never performed.
He's in my team. Who's Watkins? He's in my team.
Yeah, Ollie Watkins is one of the top goal scorers out there. No points. Son didn't even perform.
He's in my team.
Bowen performed. He was the only one performed.
He's in my team too.
I'm looking at your
my team.
Sorry. Right. Let's see what we're going to do with our teams next week. So let's go over and check out Eoin Adams with Owen's 1 hot minute.
I was too hot, baby. I'm too hot to handle. I was too hot to handle.
Observations for week 12 of Fantasy Football League. In goal, I would recommend Nick Pope of Newcastle. Top 5 goalkeeper and form at the minute, facing Bournemouth, who have the second worst attack in the league. In defence, Matty Cash of Aston Villa, high-scoring defender. He's facing Fulham, who are joint with Bournemouth for the second worst defence in the league. Also, Fabian Schär of Newcastle, an informed defender with a couple of teammates injured. He'll get a chance to rig up some points. In midfield, Brian Mbeumo of Brentford, 32 points in his last 3 games. He's facing Liverpool this week. I normally wouldn't recommend someone facing a top team, but I think he can do the business. And Jared Bowen of West Ham, high point scorer even when his team performs badly. This week he's home to Nottingham Forest. Finally, Evan Ferguson, the Irish superstar up front for Brighton. Consistent point scorer. This week he's home to Sheffield United, the worst team in the league. Catch me next week for predictions of the international results as we have another break. I'll see you then.
Thank you, Eoin. Right. For our final piece on the fantasy football, we're going to go and see who next is going to enter the Fantasy Subbuteo Fantasy 11. So here is Mr. Zach Walker with his choice. So here is Zach's choice.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality.
Hey, Watsy and Martin. My starting 11 for best 11 contribution, which might be kind of a different one, would be the American Subbuteo legend Rick Wilcox. Why Rick? Well, he is a 2-time American national champion. He hasn't played much in the last decade or so, but he was someone who was extremely influential as I was a young teenager growing up with the game. One of the most fierce and intense competitors I've ever seen. Phenomenal player. And coincidentally, the first ever American to win a Fistiff international tournament, granted on American soil, but by beating one of the Belgian legends, David Wouters. Rick is, on top of that, a coach, a mentor, a teacher, a father, just a wonderful person. He served in marketing and promotion and executive administrative capacities for growing the game, the hobby, the sport of Subbuteo in the United States. And while unfortunately I don't believe he's gotten a chance to play abroad, I would put any top player in the world up against him. He is an amazing player who hopefully we can get back in the game playing a little more, but one of the best players I've absolutely ever played against. So there's my starting 11 nomination or contribution is the American Subbuteo Association legend, Rick Wilcox.
Thank you, Zach. Mr. Rick Wilcox, you can join the team.
That's a Subbuteo deep cut right there.
And I'm going to put Rick, I've no defenders yet, so I'm going to put Rick in defence. So Rick is our first defender, followed by Carlos Flores in the middle and Christophe Dur up front. So it's getting good, that wee team.
Where are you going to put me whenever somebody picks me?
The bench. I have the power to include a substitute bench just if it ever happens.
Fucking sub.
Right. Speaking of subs, speaking about right subs, here's this week's guest. Martin, would you like to introduce our guest?
I would indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, what a pleasure. Glasgow Subbuteo Club, big friends of Barry Sez. This man, YouTube Supremo, the one and only, Chad Wright.
Welcome, Chad. Chad Wright, welcome.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Chad, it's good to get you on the show. Chad, we're gonna have a quick couple of questions to vet you before we let you on the show officially.
Yeah, okay.
All right, first question. Name.
Chad Wright.
Age.
50 years old last week.
Birthday. That's happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday. Happy
And
birthday.
actually the same age as our club, which turned 50 years old last week as well.
Well done.
Happy birthday, Glasgow Table Soccer Club.
Brilliant. Next question. Occupation.
I'm a software developer.
We'll use you. Final question. Final question. This is the deal breaker. What Glasgow football team do you support? Get in. We can have the interview now, Chad.
just cut half the Scottish audience off, just like that.
No, apologies to you, but hey, don't
apologise.
We've all got a burden to bear.
Don't apologise. You've nothing to apologise for. I'm just keeping a wee eye on the Rangers game here anyway, to let you know if anything goes wrong. Come on, Slavia Prague.
Listen,
Nearly
all the guys I work with are all Rangers fans, so no doubt if they win tonight, I'm going into a barrage tomorrow.
Well, I had a friend who's been missing for about 6-7 months. Martin's friend as well, and during the Celtic game there, they aren't 5-0. He decides to reappear.
5-0. Did Celtic get beat 5-0?
They get beat 6.
6.
He appears at 5-0, and he never. I don't think he enjoyed what I got back, because a lot has been on in 9 months since I last spoke to him.
Yeah, definitely.
So we got a lot of abuse.
Who beat them 6-0?
Oh, just a small team in Spain. Nobody's Atletico Madrid.
They could take them.
They were very good. Even if we had 11 men in the park, even if we had 14 men in the park, probably still beat us.
We're well tanked.
That's because he's playing that wee Mickey Mouse league. And he says the big fish and a wee titty wee pond. And that's it.
You just keep going watching
As soon as you go out, I'm eating all our big fish.
Listen, the Champions League surpassed Scottish football probably about a decade ago, maybe 2. So
it's survival. It's about how low you can try and avoid finishing.
Yeah. Exactly.
What's that Loch Ness team?
What's that, sorry?
Loch Ness. Is there not a football team in Loch Ness?
Inverness Celtic Thistle.
Partick Thistle. That's who you should be supporting.
Partick Thistle down Glasgow.
I don't know what. Well, forget about the football. Chad, you're only back playing a year.
Yeah, that's right.
How long were you playing before you came back?
Before, I got into Subbuteo probably when I was about 10 years old, and it was reading like my older brother's Roy the Rovers comics. Don't know if you ever read those, but there was a strip in it called Mike's Mini-Men, and I fell in love with the story, and that's how I got into Subbuteo first of all. I never had a team to start with. I mean, I started off with like small plastic discs from a game that we had with a marble, and we started playing with that until eventually we got a team and a pitch, and at that time I was lucky because there was like 3 leagues in Drumchapel where I initially grew up, and you could pick and choose what league you wanted to play in. So it was good, but I only played for about a year. And as I say, that was up until I was about 12, maybe. That was 10 and a half, maybe I started. So about a year and a half, and that was it. I never came back to it until lockup.
Oh, so you only really are back?
Yeah.
I thought when you said you had played before, and your year coming back was like you played up until maybe 1998, like most people, or you know.
No, I only really played until I got into first year and started realising that there was women about and stuff like that.
Okay. So are you telling us, Chad, that you haven't played Subbuteo in like 40 years nearly?
Yeah.
And you rocked up to a competition not that long ago in Glasgow, and you played an international Subbuteo player and humped him. What was it, 3-4-0 over the table?
I mean, listen, I'm probably quite lucky that I'm in a club like Glasgow because it's a tough school in there. The guys give you no quarter, so you've got to improve pretty quickly if you want to try and compete with them. So it's
some training ground there.
And honestly, I mean, when I went to that IO, I went in. That was the first IO, obviously, I'd played. So in my view, everybody I was going to play against was Carlos Flores. So. When I first played you, Lawrence, I was nervous. I was shaking and stuff like my hand. Honestly, I was.
And I was the same. I mean, it's funny how you approach a game. Do you know what I mean? Because someone had said, I had heard, like, you know, when you're setting up and someone had said to me, that boy's only playing a year, and I went, happy days. This is a straightforward first game of the competition, 3 points on the board. And that sends you down a wrong path because you then approach, you know, like, you've already won the game and you get fucking beat, you know what I mean? And you beat me well.
I know, I did play well that weekend, actually, because I was nervous going into it, as I say, but certainly I had a bit of luck as well and played reasonably well. In fact, one of the games I played in the teams match the following day was against Kenny Beggs. What happened was I was a substitute. Right. One of the guys was getting beat 2-0 off Kenny, and they subbed me in to play against him. I didn't know who he was, how good a player he was, because as I said, no long in the scene, especially at that point. And for that half, I managed to draw with him 2 each, but I get beat 4-2 because obviously the first half, the guy that I subbed was getting beat 2-0.
So it ended up 4-2 to Kenny?
Yeah. Yeah.
For 2-2 to you and Kenny.
Yeah, 2 each over that half. So, and then when I came off, when the guy was
quite the
like,
feat.
you realise a very good player and that's somebody you've managed to draw against in the half. So gave me a lot of confidence and just see. I mean, I think Aaron Skinner was one of the guys that I played, and how quick he was. That was my first experience of somebody that was so quick. And I think he beat me 4-1. I mean, it was a good beating.
I think I played him and he beat me 5-0 that weekend.
Very good player.
Stop talking, Watson.
But I remember refereeing your game against Marco afterwards, and it was. I mean, that must have been a highlight coming away, because I think you went into the game saying, I haven't even scored, I'm getting pissed off with this, I don't want to play Subbuteo again, and then you scored that peachy goal, at the end up he says, that'll be, I'll be back.
That's every week we have, Chad. Every week. This is shite, this is stupid, I'll never play it again.
But do you think, Chad, the way you've come into it, like not knowing what's going on in the game, so you're kind of like coming into it new, so you're not as scared of players, whereas me and Martin would say, I'm playing fucking Skinner or I'm playing Burns, or they're going to hump me. You're coming into it as everybody's fresh meat.
Yeah, I think if you go into every game approaching it that the person's well capable of beating you on their day, no matter who it is, then it kind of tunes you into every game you play. I mean, that's the method I've had with playing everything that I've done. I mean, I've played golf. I took that up when I was 30. When I get married, actually, it's weird until I get married and then says, right, I'm going to take up golf.
You take it out of the house. You're trying to get out of the house, yeah.
And when I do take something up, I tend to really immerse myself in it and do it a lot to try and get as good as I can in a short space of time. So I eventually got down to single figures. But again, when I played matches there, was again every game that you play, you just go in thinking, this person could easily beat me. I just need to try and tune in and make sure. But keep it fun as well. Because I don't like playing against people that are... I don't mind people that are serious, but it's just annoying playing against people that take it too serious, where it doesn't become... Yeah.
There's a difference between taking it serious and taking it serious.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not a joke. It's a game. It's a Wayne's game. But
yeah.
You know what you're playing, and there's a trophy at the end. So you want to play your best, so somebody else is playing you, but you end up being a cunt if you're taking it too serious.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Chad, I like your approach because that's the way it should be. I was listening to a podcast the other day. I don't know if you've ever listened to it. Captains with Sam Warburton.
Right, no.
He's a rugby player, but he had Chris Hoy on, who was a big track cyclist, Scottish as well.
Yeah.
But they were talking about, he was going into cycle. He cycles for 1 kilometre. And he was saying, he was going off last in the Olympics. And what happens if someone before him breaks the world record? What do? And his approach was, well, you get obviously someone to coach you and put you in the right mindset. But he puts himself in that position before the event instead of it happening on the day and going through it. Because if someone says, don't think about it or won't think about it, someone turns around to you and goes, right, you're playing Carlos Flores, don't think about it too much. It's like someone saying to you, pink elephants, don't think about them. What are you going to think about?
Exactly. It's first
you know what I mean? And that's the sort of thing that you have to do. Whereas before I listened to that podcast, I go into a game beat. Where like when I was playing you, I was thinking, I'm going in to win. I should have been getting into focus on that actual match and not thinking, I've won the game or I'm already beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And you're probably right as well. Maybe there was, for the fact, a bit of ignorance on my behalf of who the top players are and stuff as well, because you're quite right. Somebody tells you, you're going in to play Chris Short or you're going in to play Chris Thomas. They're one of the best players in the UK. And you're right away you start thinking, well, I'm maybe going in to get beat here. Right. But as I say, I try and approach that with every game that I play. And I think then you've got the same approach for every game. It's like, again, with golf as well. You get a pre-match or a pre-shot routine. And I think everybody maybe should get into a pre-match routine that just kind of calms you down a wee bit and maybe kind of settles the nerves.
Yeah. I think there was somebody Glasgow said to me, and I'm not sure who it was, but they said to me every time you set up differently from a goal, conceding a goal.
Yeah.
Right, you do.
Every time you set up, it should be the exact same, the same spaces between your defenders. And whatever way you set up, is that should be it. You should never go Christmas tree or 5 at the back or 7 at the back,
Yeah.
So I always, from Glasgow, I've set up the same way every time.
Yeah.
That's playing your own game. Doesn't matter who you're playing. If you play your own game and you play your game well, you'll play well. If they're far better at you and they're whopping around and they're doing fantastic things that you can only imagine, but as long as you play your game, your defense, your attack, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You shouldn't. You do that. You do set up all different.
Well, I used to.
But yeah, more sort of consistent now the way you set things up. And I'm the same. Whether it's I'm flicking off or whether I'm taking a goal kick or a person's taking a goal kick, I'll try and set up my players the same way.
And what sort of training routine would you have with at home? Would you train much at home or?
Yeah, I've got a pitch set up, and I don't know if you've seen the wee promotional video that I done on the channel.
Yeah.
You'll see the one where it's like wee blue sort of disc cylinders, and then it flicks in and out of them. That's me. So that's the kind of training setup I've got in the house. Where, as I say, I'm just. I don't have anybody visiting because you know yourself what it's like trying to get people into Subbuteo. So yeah, a lot of times you're in yourself. So it's a Monday night for us in the club where you get good games, good competitive games. But during the week, I try and maybe practice maybe 2-3 times a week, maybe just for a couple of hours, and that's it. I'll get up early, maybe before going into work, and have maybe half an hour's flick about and stuff like that, and just try and wait shots.
That's the thing. We were up in Martin's the other night, and he beat me 2 games up in the shed, and I was cracking up. And first thing he said to me was, "Are you practicing?" And I went, "No, I don't practice in the house no more." I did at one stage get the table set up and practice, and I noticed myself getting better at the Derry IO. But then he's like, "Well, if you're not practicing, you're not going to get any better."
That's right.
It's not magic. There's nobody born with a fucking Subbuteo player in their hand. It's like anything. You don't use it, you lose it. You have to practice.
Yeah, definitely.
The more you do, Bruce Lee says, never fear the man that practices 100 kicks. Fear the man that practices 1 kick 100 times. If you keep practicing the same thing, you're going to get good at it. There's no such thing as luck, right? If you practice one thing, one move over and over, and then you go to play a match, and lo and behold, the situation arises where what you've been practicing now happens in a game. Mm-hmm. And at that point then, it's not luck or anything about it. It's that you've practiced that. Yeah. So you now have a far better chance of scoring from this opportunity that's presented itself. You practiced that in your shed 100 times. And then lo and behold, you're playing Carlos Flores and the players have parted. You're in possession. It's like you're in your home in your own practice pitch and you boom, boom, boom up the pitch and you have a far better chance of scoring that as if you never practiced it or you practice 50 million different things. You know, if you practice Brian Davey, Sexy Daddy, that's what he says. He says about practicing. Take 2 players, start at one side of the pitch, work your way up, shoot, then work your way down the other side, shoot. If you did that non-stop, your touch improves, you know what's happening. You can adapt it then when you're in a match and somebody's putting a block in front of you. As long as you're getting the practice and over, all them boys, Flores and Chad and all them boys, anybody that's lethal has been non-stop.
The likes of Chad's playing, your man Chad's playing every night in his house. He has different people there over visiting every. What about how far are you, Chad, from people, or who's your nearest in Glasgow?
Well, I stay in Dumbarton, so where our club is, I'm only about 20-minute drive, 25-minute drive from where I stay in Glasgow. So it's nothing really. So there are a couple of guys that are maybe suggesting like meetups and stuff like that to try and get a game maybe on a Friday afternoon or on a Tuesday afternoon. But fortunately, as I say, I work full time, so I don't get a chance maybe in the afternoons. But I always try and say to the guys, listen, if we can maybe get an evening or something arranged, or a Sunday or something like that, then maybe we can get some matches played, and maybe even try, because we'll try to introduce some of the WASPA events into the club now. We've kind of agreed to see if we can arrange some, try some of these.
Are your meetups just meetups? They're not WASPs?
Just club events, that's it. We don't do any WASPA events. But as I say,
you do the whole league thing, don't you? You used to do the whole league between you all.
Yeah, there's three cups and the league that we play. And this year, what we're planning to do as well is split the league. So once we get everybody plays their first set of their ties, we'll split the league, and then it becomes like a championship in the Premier League. So it gives the chances to the guys down low that can maybe try and win something, or maybe feel a bit better playing against guys around about the same level. Because there are very good players in our club.
League in Scotland, where they split the last
game. Yeah, that's it.
That is a good way of doing it, because I mean, who were we talking to before? They were saying about, I think it was Derek Gurr. We had him on the show before, and he was saying, is there an opportunity that you could have the Conference League? Where you have the World Cup and you have the Euros. Well, what if you had a Conference League where you only played people that are your ability? So splitting your meetups in the league is good.
That's what the boys in Solent do. In Solent, they've had many players. They have the luxury of having two divisions. So they have a Division 1 and a Division 2. And the same crack, you go up and you go down on that. Do you know what I mean? Year in, year out.
Yeah.
That's the way to go. Many players have used in Glasgow now, Chad.
We have 16 in the league.
Fucking magic.
That's guys that kind of play regularly, but we've probably got about another maybe half dozen people that maybe don't want in the league, but they still show up now and again. And it's those are the ones that we're thinking maybe that's where we could maybe have a bit of a win if we do the WASPA events, where they could turn up one evening and compete in a WASPA event and get some ranking points. And plus it's getting your club name out there, isn't it?
And it's an extra wee balls for boys. When you're if you're just going to a club night and it's a league in yourselves, that's great and that's one thing. But when it's a wee competition, and you're up on the website, you know what I mean? And there's a trophy and there's points, ranking points. It's an additional wee boost to it.
Yeah, and it gives a wee bit of bragging rights to people, doesn't it? I'm ahead of you.
And is your club nights always held down at British Legion, or is it somewhere else?
Yeah, it's always there every Monday night.
You love getting in there, do you, every Monday night? Both buttoned up.
I know. I try and wear my colours in there.
You know what? Everybody was lovely. I mean, I remember going down the first morning, and I think Celtic were playing, or Rangers might have been playing early. No, it was a Sunday. Rangers were playing early, and I went in and I was like, "What's scoring the Rangers match?" How they were getting beat 1-0 by Partick in the cup or something. And I started laughing, and they were all, "Oh yeah, Celtic man," and I was like, "Of course you am." They were grand. I mean, Alice was in the middle of them on the Sunday and watching the rugby, and fucking, I don't know, she was mental, like. But
most people in this world, regardless who you are or what you are lovely. 98% of the world is lovely.
Yeah,
they were all brilliant, and there was a Welsh rugby team in as well the same weekend or something. But good spot.
Good, yeah. So I'm looking forward to the next one.
Hey, looking forward. I can't wait to the next one. Can't wait. Are you going to Wobbly? Are you taking a team to the Wobbly League?
Yeah, we've got 2 teams going down next weekend.
Magic.
Yeah, I'm in the B team, so yeah. So.
Oh, you're better than that. You're an A team.
I don't know. Some of the guys in there, man.
Who's up in the A's then?
Obviously, you've got Tom Burns, Malcolm Lees, Dave Gladman, and John Halpin.
Oh, that's a good squad.
Good team. What sort of, Matt, what's the B team like with you?
B team's Willie Fleming.
The B team?
Yeah. I know. So there's a bit of a vote, but it could either.
He'd not be happy with that.
Yeah, Willie wasn't happy with it, obviously, but he's Willie's happy getting into the B team as well. In fact, he chose the name of the B team because obviously you can't call it a B team going into the club league. So we had to choose a name for our B team, and Willie Fleming is the one that chose it. So only fitting that he should be in it. And he called it
What he's called?
Glasgow Table Flickers.
You shouldn't have let Willie pick a name.
Exactly, I know.
There had to be a compromise. Somewhere.
And they say that there are called it Glasgow Thistle or something like that, but no, Glasgow Table Flickers. And I says, well, Willie, I'm voting for you to be in the B team to captain it.
You could have called them Newco.
Never went for the Thistle name anyways. A big Partick Thistle fan.
I know, that's crazy.
Change the name. Overrule.
I think he just wanted the initials GTF. Glasgow. Aye. I think that's the route he went down.
Who else is in it? Who's the other two?
Well, one's pulled out, unfortunately. His wife's pregnant and she's due, so I think he's got to be about just in case she goes early. So there's only 3 of us just now. I think Tom's put out a post to see if anybody's available, just for the sake of playing.
I think Bennett's going, please. They're asking Bennett, will he go from Dundee?
Right, okay, excellent, good.
That's a fucking ringer. That's not allowed. That's a ringer. Fucking Bennett and Wally Fleming and fucking 2 other boys. They're top of table straight away. That's 2-0 every match before you
the B team's in Division 2.
So it'll be myself, the other one, and Brian Spurs.
Oh, Brian's lovely. Brian's a fucking gentleman, isn't he?
Yeah.
Happy days. That's brilliant. Before we have a look at the old what's our goal of the week, your wee YouTube channel's taken off.
Yeah, very much so, especially after your coverage, guys. Much appreciated. So it's good actually just to get some games out there and let people see what's happening up in Scotland, because to me, I don't know, it seemed quite stagnant, so it's good to kind of showcase some of the games that are happening. And as I say, that promotional video I done, I tried to make Subbuteo look a bit more exciting sometimes than what it can be. So that's what it's about. Hopefully get a name out there and hopefully get some more people interested.
You're quite good at making it. Have you a sort of background in videography or making films?
Did he not just tell you his job?
No, it's just
a
IT.
Software developer. It's got fuck all to do with making videos. What's it?
Well, he's a bit of a computer.
Well, actually,
a hobby.
I tried to get into art school when I was younger. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to maybe do something there. I was quite good at painting and things like that. And I wanted to maybe be an art teacher. But it turned out I was better at math and science. So I get talked into going down a sort of more academic route and that side of things. Yeah. So I ended up...
There's no money in art school.
Yeah. Unless I can sell paintings for thousands of pounds, but that's not going to happen. I'm not that good.
You have to be
there are a million art school students, and there are 3 famous ones.
You only make money
every
from
year.
Bradley, we're going to have a wee look at this week's goal of the week, and we're going to ask Chad to pick his winner. So here is this week's goal of the week.
Vince Sciacca 1-0, perde Cubeta. Grande! Arriva anche Salvuccio. E dai!
You're a horrible bastard. You can't outscore that from her, I'm telling you. Hey, rock that fuck off!
Okay. So, Mr. Chad Wright, Scotland's flicking awesome. Can you please pick this week's goal of the week and justify your reason? And your pick is your choice and your choice alone.
Okay, look. Well, watching the 3 of them, technically finishes, they were great because they were all very tight angles. However, what I did really like was the first goal. I just liked the first touch that the guy had. Second touch was good just to set him up for the shot, and then a very tight angle into the bottom right-hand corner. I think out of the three, that would be my goal of the week.
Fucking rocket. Was a rocket. That would have been my goal of the week.
The second one,
special mention.
The second one would have been Martin's goal. I thought a really tight angle again into the near post.
And I thought we were
actually, when I first watched it, I missed it. I thought, where did that ball go? And then I seen it at the back of the goals, and I thought, did that hit the side? And then I was waiting for the goal, and then obviously I seen the slow mo, and I was like, no, that's a good finish.
Yeah, they slow that shit down, man. To say I wasn't going on. Boom.
I was having one of those nights where everything was frustrating me. Everything, even the fucking wind outside was frustrating me. Well, I'm glad you didn't pick it as a winner, because I definitely wouldn't have showed the rest of the interview, Chad. So, well done to goal number one, goal of the week.
I know which goal you really preferred, Chad.
No, not go there, Bradley.
It's all right, Chad.
I'm really surprised
that the other goal that Peter Legge scored. What did he shout?
Italian, something in Italian. Probably like, fuck you, I can't. It sounded all right because it was in Italian.
Right.
Nice.
Sounded very romantic.
It's like Eoin Adams when he shouts, "Mere Fox."
Oh, fucking dear. I hate to hear that.
We're going to have a wee quick look inside Mr. Chad Wright's box. So here is this week's What's in Your Box.
It's more of a case, you can see, so I use the term box very loosely. I've not got a huge amount of stuff, as I say. I've only been playing for about a year. But I've collected a few things. Goalkeeper, first one that I got coming back. Cha polish I got from Dan Sheen when I was buying these arrow bases. This was what really got me back into it. It was through lockdown. I painted my own figures, as you can see there. It's a Dumbarton 2018-19 strip. Quite enjoyed doing it. And that's my spare timer that I've got. And as for the footballs, I absolutely loved these when I was younger. When I first played was the old Tango balls and the mitre balls, and I had to get them just for the sake of a bit of nostalgia. In the top part of my box, my polishing cloth from Dan Sheen, my timer that I always use. Got my goalkeeper again. That was just a brass goalkeeper. I painted that myself to try and make him look a bit bigger. He helped me save my shots. Doesn't work. Another polishing cloth. I've got some training kit that I use. I've seen them from Bad Boy boxes. Some more training stuff. Goalkeepers, standing goalkeepers. This is another team that I painted through lockdown. Very sort of random green and black strip, no team in particular, but hopefully you can see the detail in some of the players that I've painted in the strip itself. And I've also, I tried to paint these as near to the Celtic team at the time I could, and you can see, hopefully see the detail in that one. And it's Bolingoli that used to play in the Celtic side. You can see his wee white sort of hairdo that I put at the top. As you can tell, I was pretty bored during lockdown. The obligatory top spin balls, and the team that I always play with now. Now these are a deckled team that John Halpin done from Glasgow. And he gave me a line of them to play at the IO, the Glasgow IO in February, and I absolutely loved them, and hitting the ball great with them, the touch was great with them. So basically I didn't want John to have them back, so I made him sell me them. It took a lot of persuasion because he loved them, but they're on real soccer bases, and hopefully again you can see the detail there. And that's Virgil van Dijk, and you can see even the hairdo that John put on him was a typical sort of bun that he wears in his hair. So that's it for what's in my box.
Chad,
Beautiful, Bob.
Lovely Celtic teams there. Mr. Halpin with the wee one at the end is very nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean the way he finishes the teams off is fantastic. But I think he's actually got some pain with his fingers just now, so I think he's got a bit of a backlog to try and finish off some teams. So I would like to have commissioned him to do another one for us, but I'm happy with that one just now, and maybe get another one coming online. But just need to wait and see. I'm trying to find another real soccer, the original real soccer bases, and because they don't manufacture them anymore, so and I'm really enjoying those ones.
That's what Tom Burns. That's what Tom Burns uses, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what Phil does.
What kind of money's in them bases?
Well,
If you find a set?
well, the ones I bought off of John, I think I paid £100 for them, all in because of the full decals and things like that as well. I mean, a lot of work in them. Yeah.
And decals are a fucking nightmare. John does them well.
Yeah.
But they're a nightmare. They put off.
The thing with decals is you have to still be a good painter as well, because
Yeah.
the detail you have to put in the skin tones and the hairs and the eye, everything, like, so it's not easy.
And even stuff like the tattoos that he painted on them as well, they're not decals, they're just bits of paint that he's put on them. So really fantastic job he done them. And as I say, I didn't mind painting that because I know the work involved, because I painted a couple of teams that I had through lockdown.
Your wee Martin team and your wee Celtic team were brilliant.
I enjoyed doing it.
Lovely.
The work that was involved, I say, no wonder maybe people can charge that sort of money. But I mean, John's relatively quite cheap if you get him to do a set of decals, and he does them to such a good quality. So certainly value for money.
Well, I charge for my hand painted teams. I charge £50, and even to me, that's not. There's no money in that.
No, because you know how long it takes you.
It takes you a week. Takes you a week to put them. I mean, I'll go into the details of finding out what boots they were, their hair, if they wear wristbands, ankle tape, you know.
Oh, fantastic.
So there's a whole research before, and then when you go to somebody and say £50, they go, no way.
I know. You're talking 50p an hour for your liver. You know what I mean? By the time you've done
Exactly. It's pennies in the scheme of things, isn't it, for the work that's involved?
That's why I don't promote them no more. If someone comes to me and says, "Will you do me a team?" I'll say, "Look, it's £50, but there's no money in it, like."
No.
Not worth it. So, but that stuff you done was brilliant. I was glad you put the photos up in your box and stuff. That we zooming into them, they were great.
Cheers.
You should start taking orders from John.
No, see, honestly, I think I've scunnered myself painting the two of them, to be honest, because I was wanting to do another, and I says, do you know what? The time that I spent doing them, I was like, no, I'll get some of Dan Sheen's bland, plain figures and put them in my next bases, so I don't need to paint them. But
I've been doing this squad for what's it? A year, must be. I done one, and I come out well, and I hadn't fucking hurt to do another one.
It's a great wee getaway. It does take your mind off things. You know, if you sit down, put a record on or put a CD on and sit down and listen to, a bit of music and paint for a couple of hours, it's a great escape. Days I'd sit at the table and turn around to be 3-4 hours gone and be like, what fucking hell, my arse is not here. I need to get.
That's what I was finding after about 3 years. I mean, I sat at a desk all day, but when I was doing them, I don't know just if it was where you're sitting, then you'd go to stand up to go and get a cup of tea and you'd nearly collapse as you get off the seat.
Your head straight down your face.
Chad, I'd like to take an opportunity to thank you for coming on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I look forward to catching up with you again in February.
In Glasgow. No. Listen, thank you guys. It's been a pleasure coming on it. As I say, Subbuteo entertainment royalty. The Ant and Decker of Subbuteo world.
Which one's the small one? Am I him?
No, it's been a pleasure, guys.
Brilliant, Chad. And you'll see that guy next week, so enjoy yourself with him. Make sure you guys see it.
Brilliant.
I'll give him some pocket money to buy you a beer.
I'll be up for that.
You heard it here, folks.
Good.
Cheers, guys.
Take it easy, mate. Thank you.
Bye now.
Cheers, Chad.
Cheers.
Superstar.
Chad Wright. Chad Wright. Thank you very, very much. Fantastic. Lovely guy, isn't he, Martin Oak?
Oh, some boy.
Lovely, lovely fella. We're going to have some match highlights. So here is this week's match highlights.
I got struck by lightning bolt. I was standing next to a tall pine pole. Got a thousand volts running through my veins. Electric shocks deep fried my brain. I got struck by lightning. I can't see out of my eyes. Struck by lightning. Thunderbolts run through the sky. Struck by lightning. Doesn't matter if I die. Struck by lightning. I got struck walking down my street. My life has lain on the concrete. I got the wind knocked out of me. Bastard electricity. I got struck by lightning. I can't see out of my eyes. Struck by lightning. Thunderbolts run through the sky. Struck by lightning. Doesn't matter if I die. Struck by lightning. Struck by lightning. I can't see out of my eyes. Struck by lightning. Thunderbolts run through the sky. Struck by lightning. Doesn't matter if I die. Struck by lightning.
Right, Martin Oak, thank you very much. Do you want to nip over and give us some results?
Okay, doke. Not many this week. Been all about the Yanks this last couple of weeks.
Hack you right up
So,
your elbow in the Yanks.
okay. So, we'll go back over to Maryland just once quick because there was a small tournament in the Shrine with Paul Hayes and the lads. 6 men played.
That's good.
We'll start at the bottom.
Start the bottom and work your way up.
And at number 6, Tom. Don't know surname. And at number 5, Jake. Surname. And at number 4, Ryan. Flying up there. 2 wins, 3 draws, 0 losses. Very good.
Oh.
And at number 3, the one, the only, Brian fucking Arnold.
Brilliant. Brian's up in the
Third
Shrine.
place. 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. Don't know who he went down to. More than likely, he went down to. Well, that's about it. And at number 2, in the Shrine, all ice. 3 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss.
It only leaves one man on top, doesn't it?
It is 1 man on top. The one, the only, dangerous Dan fucking Cranston. 5 wins out of 5 games played.
Well done, Dan.
Well done, Dan.
Dan Cranston's show continues.
Boom, boom, boom. Anyway, we do love the Yanks.
We do.
But we're going to shoot over the south of England now to the Chasers, who had a Waspa tournament. I don't know. That's not him. Oh, he's there. They're all the same.
He is Chasers, you gack.
He's Ras. R-A-S.
That's the same thing. The Chasers?
No.
You sure?
Not sure now. You was sure. I'm not sure now. I think they're 2 different clubs.
They are the Chasers, you dick.
They're not the Chasers. That's
okay. Is he playing?
Romford and Southend. No, he's not playing. It's a different fucking club.
Right, okay.
Stick you to your field soccer. Leave us a video to me, please. Okay. Yeah. Stick in your lane. Anyway, go through some of the games. What have we got here? 9 players. 9-player WASPA tournament. Lots of games. I'll go through some of the highlights. Brian Butterworth, very good player. Plays for Elliot Jude Bellefontaine's Elstow Lions, I do believe. 2-0 over Adam Jackson. Gary Gladwell, he's a nice guy. 4-0 over Ballyatwood. Here's one for you. You don't see this very often. Jason Ketley, 1 versus Samantha Levy, 1. They've got a lady in the team. Fair play here. She's obviously doing well. Mark Francis, 0. Terry Arnold, 1-0. He's balled out on Army. Terry Arnold. He's Kent, isn't he? Mark West, 1. Kai Arnold, 1. Oh, tight down. Kai Gladwell should run away with it up there. Ooh. Next round, Ballyatwood, Brian Butterworth from Elstow Lions, 5-0. Humped him.
Humping.
Oh, poor Bally can hump by Gary Gladwell as well. It's not Bally's day. We all had nights like that. Samantha, 0. Adam Jackson, 1. Very close. Terry Arnold, 2. Gary Gladwell, 1. That would be a match to watch. Kai Arnold, 3. Jason Ketley, 0. Brian Butterworth, again, 5-0 over Samantha Levy. Just rolling up there with his fucking fancy new Elstow shirt. Running all over him. 5-0 for Samantha. Terry Arnold, 2. Ballyatwood, 0 in Olympic Games. Brian Butterworth, 4. Terry Arnold, 0. Kai Arnold, 5. Samantha, 0. Jesus, Kai. Mark West, 3. Ballyatwood, 0. Per Bally. Bally's come bottom of the table, by the way.
Unfortunate.
Followed up closely by Mark Francis. Both of them on 0 points. Nil point. Oh, hold on a minute. Samantha Levy has won 2-0 over Mark Francis. W-O. That mean walkover. I know, she won anyway, 2-0. Well done, Samantha. Fantastic. Samantha comes in with 4 points. So she's a draw and a 1 on there. Fantastic.
Well done, Samantha.
Jason Ketley coming up 4th from bottom, 7 points. Right up the arse of Gary Gladwell, also on 7 points. Mark West on 8 points. Adam Jackson, 9 points. Kai Arnold, 10 points. It's always going to be like this. Terry Arnold, 12 points. Second in the table. And number 1, winner on the night, 15 points. Brian Butterworth.
Well done, Brian.
Well done, Brian.
Well done, Chasers. Yeah, I
Well
think
done,
it's the
Chasers.
last one.
It's not the last one, but check. Although, I think at the Wobbly thing last year, they did amalgamate for the competition. Maybe that's where you're getting confused.
Maybe. Right, is that you done?
Mm-hmm. I got plenty.
Happy days. Well,
Keep,
I'm
keep,
going to
it's
finish.
like a TikTok. It's like a TikTok trick. Don't give them everything. Keep them.
I'm going to
keep them
finish
wanting
this
more.
week. This week I'm going to finish with a video diary. Our good friend, Mr. Derek Err, has been on his travels again. He is over in Germany visiting Mr. Simon Stewart and the St. Pauli boys. So here's a little video diary to end the show. Hopefully I put it in this time. So, Martin O'Bradley, would you like to say your goodbyes? It's been a pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's only one thing you can do.
Keep on
flicking.
Okay, let's see what I'm taking with me. Right, since we're visiting our friend Simon Stewart, fellow Derry City player over at in Hamburg, I'm taking him some Tetley tea bags. He said he can't get a decent cup of tea over there, so could I bring him some tea bags? I've got him a couple of copies of 442 magazine, so he can keep up with his British football. And of course, following on from Book Week, I'm taking him a copy of my favourite book, The Dispossessed by Ursula K. Le Guin. Like I said on my video, trying to build the world one anarchist at a time. In terms of equipment, well, I'm limited with space in the bag, so I'm going to take my hand-painted Scotland team, hand-painted by the master himself, Martin O'Bradley, and my own team, Matalan United. I may even take the top with me so I can play in the top. And of course, this bad boy. the one that caused so much trouble at security at Manchester Airport. The uninitiated, I had to explain to them that it wasn't a weapon, it was in fact a goalkeeper for Subbuteo, but in the right hands, of course, it is a lethal weapon, a goalkeeping weapon. Alright, that's what I'm taking with me. Morning, Lawrence. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just heading out of Dudley on the way to Stansted Airport. Start of my journey to Hamburg. It's my first time in Germany, so I'm quite excited. I've been trying to brush up on my very basic German, although Simon assures me most of them speak English, so I'm looking forward to that. Packed for the winter, I've been told it's really cold, so I'll let you know when I arrive in Hamburg. Okay, that's me back from my night at St. Pauli Subbuteo Club. It was a fantastic night. The lads were very welcoming. There was only 3 of them there. Rolf, a German who doesn't speak much English, and I'm British and don't speak much German, but we managed to get by until Demetrius showed up. Demetrius thankfully does speak good German and excellent English, so he was able to translate for Rolf, and when he gave me his interview, and also gave me an interview of his own. Very interesting to find out how he grew up playing the game in Greece and how Rolf grew up playing the game in Germany. Very different narratives from what I've been used to from people from outside the UK, so I think it'll make a great section in the book. Down to the matches. Well, I played 2 matches. I beat Rolf 1-0. My goal was a cracker. I wish I'd videoed it for goal of the week. And I lost 3-0 to Demetrius, who should now get the nickname He Shoots, He Scores, because he had 3 shots on target and 3 goals, whereas I had 3 shots on target and he made 3 saves. But hey, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, and it was fun just to play. He played Rolf twice. He hasn't beaten Rolf in nearly a year, he was telling me, and it's even longer now. They drew 0-0 in their first match, and then Rolf won, I think, 2-1 or 3-1 the second game. I can't really remember. But it was a good night, and I was in the legendary Fan Laden of the St. Pauli club, underneath the main stand in their Malern Tor Stadium. So it was just an iconic night, absolutely fantastic. So tomorrow I'm hoping to see Simon. A club with a proud history, St. Pauli, and the Subbuteo Club are lucky to actually be formally linked to them. And Simon and I, when we met, we discussed things like their dwindling membership and how maybe the ethos of the club might, in the long run, hurt membership. But more about that in the book. On talking about Simon, it was great given what happened at the start of the week. Made it difficult for him to get away from home and see me, but he gave me a couple of hours of his time, for which I'll always be grateful. It was great to meet him in person. Talked about a lot of things, football, life in general, and of course Subbuteo and the club. So thank you, Simon, and hopefully next time I come to Hamburg I'll be able to see you, Demetrius again, Ralph again, and meet Marius, who I know you said I would have liked to have. I would have probably got on very well with. All right, this is the last bit for What's He Show. So thanks.